we can start.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Mitali. I'm Mitali Chauhan, the Deputy Director General of the Market Research Society of India, MRSI. With us today for giving us their views, giving us their experiences, are three very illustrious members who've taken time out of their Sunday, and thank them so much for giving us this time. We have Nitesh Priyadarshi. He's a GM CMI South Asia from Hindustan Unilever. We have Sonia Pal, who's CEO Karvi Insights. And we have Shobha Prasad, who's Director Drishti. And what we're going to talk about today is we're going to tell you about the MRSI and why we thought of introducing the Golden Key Awards. And we couldn't have three better panelists to share their views with us because they've been deeply entrenched in the whole process. So, to just give a bit of a background, you probably know that the MRSI is the Association of Market Research Practitioners and Professionals for India. And that means that this industry called market research, which those of us who are part of it know a lot of, also are wanting other people to know what we do, who we are, how we make a difference in everyone's life. And part of this journey has been the launch of the Golden Key Awards, which we launched last year. We have the second edition, the Golden Key Awards 2020, happening this year. So Nitesh, it's fantastic to have you because Hindustan Levers is, of course, one of the big players, has been in market research, one of the big spenders in advertising and market research. And also you managed to walk away with 3 awards last year. So you can tell us how you did it and how other people can snatch some of them away from you. Sonia Pal also has started a very new market research agency and did really well again last year at the Golden Key Awards, walked away with 4 awards and is part of our jury panel this year for the Golden Key Awards 2020. And Shobha Prasad, who has been a very, very influential voice in market research, who has seen the journey, who has built an agency. The agency has been, owned and driven by her and very strong for more than 2 decades, played a role in the MRSI as well. So we couldn't ask for a better set of people to share their views with us. So perhaps what we can do to start off then is maybe to talk a little bit about these awards and the relevance, perhaps. Nitesh?
Yes, so let me go first. Yeah. So even though there are 3 ladies in the group, I could have said ladies first, but let's change it. That's the way, the 2020 has been. It's been all about the change here. So since I'm the odd man out here, so let me start. So on the relevance, first of all, I must congratulate the entire MRSI team for coming up with this idea of Golden Key Awards. I think it was due for the industry for quite long. And I strongly believe it because, as an industry, we are often be seen as a quote unquote support function, which means we are, supporting a marketing team, supporting a sales team, or if you're working agency side, which I was for 7 years, then you're supporting somebody at the client side. Yeah. So this support word is something that I have hated throughout my life, and I have did everything to make sure how do we change it. And one way to change it is when you see yourself not supporting for somebody else to go to the last mile and create impact, but how do you, claim your own role that you play in that impact. Yeah. And that is something which is very critical because then only you feel much more motivated and energized and passionate about doing what you're doing. Because when you see things happening in the market, in the consumer's life, where you have a role to play in it. Yeah. And one way to do is to actually celebrate such occasions. Yeah. And one way to celebrate those occasions is by having this award function. So therefore, I think, I often have been telling teams, and even when I was a researcher, that insights has no meaning if it doesn't lead to impact. Yeah. So insights needs to inspire and provoke people or organizations to take action, and those actions to lead to impact. And we should not just leave insights hanging. We should follow up to that action and to impact. And only you get the pleasure and the joy. And I still remember as a young researcher, when, I'm working with some of the entrepreneurs where you will go and present to them and they will pick up the phone. And Sonia would remember for the days when you used to work for LML, I remember, where the owner was, looking at our presentation. We'll talk about something that we have done in Itawa in UP. And he would call up his retailer there and then and say that, okay, Nitesh ji aise present kar rahe hain aur yahan ye chal raha hai, kal mujhe ye change chahiye. You will feel, as a young listener, you will come out of the room, you've made a difference. You have gone into a room and there has been an action taken based on it. Yeah. So I think that's the role of insight should be. We should not call ourselves as insights, leaders. We should call ourselves insights managers. We should call ourselves as impact creators or impact, driving impact. And one way when you drive impact is when you see that, okay, why don't we celebrate it? And, one of the key points, again, because going back to that word support, we often use it, which I think we should control or delete, is that we are sometimes apologetic about our role, because end of the day, it's the sales system as a client. When I'm at the insights function, it's a sales system which is driving, the last mile of growth. And then you say, okay, I have given an insight, but I'm not sure if that has led to an impact. Yeah. So therefore, when we set a vision for HUL, instead of calling ourselves that we we inspire and provoke people and create great insights. We said we inspire and provoke people, create great insights, and drive growth. Yeah, and we actually added 2% additional growth to it. And that is something which is very critical. So once you have done that, this award, which is Golden Key Awards, is all about celebrating those impactful pieces of work that agencies have done, that clients have done, and we all come together to do that. And that's, so if I have to sum up, probably it's the right time to be unapologetic about our contribution to growth and impact. It's been long that the industry has been apologetic about, okay, I'm not sure. A lot of people are others involved. Everyone is, staking their claim to that victory. You should also do it. And I think that's what I would say why these awards become very relevant.
So, I think I agree with that, because, if you see it as a relay race, impact. So, we are the very first player to, pass the baton. The spotlight is always on the people who cross the finish line, but nobody remembers the people who are, the first to pass the baton, the one off the mark. We are those people, and nobody is going to celebrate us except ourselves. And I think, this is a very important time in which, we should stand up and show what we, do in the marketing context, and how much we help achieve, positive, good, happy results. That's, I think, what we should be doing. Nobody is going to do it for us. We should do it for ourselves, I think. Right, Sonia?
Absolutely agree with that, Shobha, because this has been one forum, starting last year, and I'm so happy to see it continuing this year, which has helped us celebrate innovation in the industry, which is very, very important, because we've often been accused of the fact that we, are still in the humdrum old method of doing things and we don't change. But there is a significant change happening in the industry with a lot of different kinds of players, not just, typical market research agencies, but a lot of technology players, a lot of, data providers, insight providers through other means, etc., are coming into the fray. And the best part is that these awards are open to everybody. It's not restricted to just one or two. Second, it's been an amazing equalizer, because it has actually said that we will celebrate the people wherever they are when they're contributing, to the success of brands and growth. So that itself, again, is a very, very important aspect. The third thing that I would actually like to emphasize is that it's helped us recognize people. And those people are very, very critical, because in our industry, it's very easy to just say the client had this wonderful launch and they celebrated that, and you feel good because you've seen it in market and you say, I work with that, right? But here we are actually celebrating the people who contributed the insight to that particular success. And therefore, awards like the Best Client Service Team or the Best Client Insights Team is a very, very good introduction. I fully agree with Nitesh that we should not give up the follow-up by just saying, okay, we've delivered the insights. We should definitely carry it through to impact. And impact is a key measure of these awards, to see which particular team or which particular project has actually created that impact. Because it's true, ultimate success measure is impact or business, right? So that is something that I think these awards bring out wonderfully.
I think there are also many different types of awards. I think, Mithali, I think you can, you have the entire list available with you, so maybe you can tell us.
Yes. So I think also to just add to what we were saying before, I mean, there was this sense that perhaps that researchers were very shy lot who didn't want to step out into the spotlight. And I think we've taken care of that. And even in the design of awards, it's really 3 types of awards that we've crafted in the Golden Key Awards. One is for innovation, because, you know, again, there's this very fuddy-duddy image of researchers saying that, you know, you've kind of done the things that your grandfathers used to do as researchers, which isn't true. I think there's really been so much innovation happening, embracing technology, so on. We all talked about impact, right? So there's a lot of this thing to say that we contributed to impact, we contributed to business success, but it's actually even stronger to say business success may not have happened had it not been for the insight. So I think this sort of taking back, as we said, you know, owning our space, and I think Nitesh touched upon that. And obviously the people. So the awards are about celebration in the live event, and we're going to do it virtually this time. It's glamorous. It's, you know, sort of, you know, we want to stand up and be proud and have the light shining on us. So absolutely. This year, of course, we have had a difficult year. So we didn't have all the categories that we had last year. We have 8 categories in the awards now. We have 2 for celebrating people. So the same as last year, we have the client team, a best client team of the year, best client servicing team of the year. We also have the technology-based awards. So that's the best use of technology, or the Dr. Lalit Kanodia Laureate Award, and also the best use of analytics to create impact. We also have best developmental research, which is, we know social research is a very strong part of what we contribute. And there have been many challenges with the COVID-19 pandemic, where, you know, there has been a lot of insight needed to deliver and deal with this you know, unprecedented event. And we also have a special award this year only, which is for the special COVID-19 award. And, you know, that's where we've had the maximum entry so far. People who are in research, not in research, the people you would expect, totally new people. You know, we're seeing this really taking off in the market, because there's so many things, people, new products, new ways of getting to market, new insights, new ways consumers think, so many things in which these have come up.
You know, Mithali, I think that one is particularly very important, because given that our industry, at least in India, was primarily face-to-face, and COVID completely took that away as an option. I think it forced the industry to innovate and reinvent itself almost overnight. And I really look forward to the submissions in that one, because I think they will showcase the spirit of the industry and how we were able to still continue non-stop in terms of providing those insights to the clients at the right time.
So true, Sonia. So actually, you know, I mean, just reminds me of Alibaba in China, where the SARS-1, which it happened in early 2007, 2008, actually accelerated e-commerce big time into China. And today Alibaba is a big company. And if you really look at, probably, I mean, you know, probably not the right thing to say it's happened for the good reasons, but in spite of all the challenges with pandemic, I think from a research industry, if we can look at the positive still, is that it has accelerated the digitalization of research big time. Yeah, we were all taking heavy steps towards digitalization, but this forced us to do it, because as you rightly said, there was no face-to-face available. And I think, you know, one of the key things that all of us should celebrate, and that's why I understand why COVID has so many entries, is how teams have pivoted from, you know, doing what they were doing till March 2020, and what they ended up doing from, you know, April on to now, in terms of, you know, a lot of digitalization of research, a lot of, you know, online and everything. And without the strength of our industry, which was actually based on face-to-face research, I think that's a big pivot.
That's a huge leap, I think.
Should be celebrated.
Yeah, that was a big leap, I think, total leap. And I think all of us actually deserve awards for that. Everybody does, you know, whether it's a client or whether it's the agency or
yes, there has
whatever.
To be a section for awards.
And also, you know,
there
I
has
think
to be an award this year, which we should celebrate everyone. Sorry to just, I wanted to say for Mithali, actually, there has to be a time, Mithali, when we should get everyone onto the stage to celebrate how we have, rejoiced and lived this year.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, but what I like about the awards is that, every year I think there is a topical award. I know this is only the second year that we are doing the awards, but what I'm finding interesting, and probably, it will evolve that way. Every year there will be one special award which is more topical, like the COVID award, which is, this year's award. Maybe next year it will be something else. But I think, probably the awards going forward will also reflect what we are going through as an industry, and, reward people for, taking risks and leaping off into the unknown, sort of a thing. Yeah.
I think this time we also have a very interesting jury, because we have managed to get people from across not just industries and functions, but also, different levels. You've got CEOs, you've got global insight heads, you've got India insight heads, you've got media, so you've really covered the spectrum in terms of trying to have as wide a set of people assess these papers, so that there is no one lens through which they are, examining what the work done is. And I think that itself merits celebration, because to be able to be that open in terms of saying, come and see the work that we've done, also showcases the, the maturity that the industry has reached, and started saying that we are very confident of the work that we are doing, and we are okay with just about different industries and different people coming in and, viewing that work.
Absolutely. And, as you know, we have 12 jury members, and we will have 4 jury panels, and we'll have, one of each person from a particular discipline. So we'll have one person from, at a CEO leadership level for agencies. So, we'll have leaders from Nielsen, Kantar, from Quantum, which is qualitative research, and of course, Carvey. We'll also have senior buyers of research. So people from Ashwini from Unilever, Ashwini Agarwal from Unilever, Sanjay Datta from ITC, Abhishek Saigal from Google, and also other such leaders. And we also see that we have industry experts. So we have Kunal Jeswani, who's CEO Ogilvy India, who will be, of course, one of the categories he'll be looking at is the best use of insight for creative communication. We're having people from, clients of research such as BARC. So Dr. Derek Gray will be there. Rashi Goel from Nestle's will be there. And of course, Datamatics, which is a technology company, but it's a major buyer of research. So Sandeep Arora will be there from that. So we are very keen. And I think that's again been something we've learned as part of the process, is that the entries get better and better, and the jury gets better and better. And I think that feeds into each other every year when you start seeing that, if we want to be more relevant, it has to be among a wider group. It has to be, sort of more outward looking. So we have a really fantastic jury this year, which is something that we're really very happy about.
I think this is something that is very heartening for anybody sending entries, because, the quality of jury that you have here is pretty outstanding. So, so if you are sending in an entry, you know that it's going to be assessed not just through one lens, but multiple lenses. So, and it will be also compared across, different types of researchers and different types of domains. So you will have, if you win an award, you know that it's an award worth winning, because it's been assessed in that manner. So that is, I think, the beauty of this jury. And the other is, of course, as Mithali pointed out, it's beautifully balanced. It's got, client side people, it's got, agency side people, it's got advertising people, it's got brand custodians, and so on. So these are highly experienced and quite a good jury to be awarded by. That's, I think, important. And considering this is the second year that we are doing this.
Absolutely. And I think what we also realized is that, everyone, all of our jury members are very senior, and they have so much to do. but they've been more than happy. I mean, they're really, really excited by the Golden Key Awards, by what they can bring to the table, the quality of entries. So, I think that also has been a great experience for us. We don't have to persuade them. They're so enthusiastic and so kind with their time.
That's true. In fact, having been
just
a
to add,
participant in the awards.
Sorry, Sonia. Just one thing I wanted to add before you can say. I mean, I also love the way Sonia started by saying it's an interesting panel of jury. By she ensured that we call her interesting. Yeah. So the fact that is part of the panel, I love that, Sonia. So very good. So I agree, Sonia. It's an interesting panel. Yeah.
Without a doubt.
I agree with that too.
Yeah, that's true.
Go ahead, Sonia. Sorry. Yeah.
No, that's all right. I was just saying, having participated in the submissions last year very actively, I think it was also very reassuring to have, a jury which was very balanced and which was actually getting into the nitty-gritties of each of the assessments. And, very often in these awards, otherwise there's a question about how are the submissions getting evaluated? Is there a partisan view, etc.? So it was very encouraging to see the absolute, commonality with which things got done, the justice which was done to the papers, the amount of time spent, by the various jury members last year. And yes, I'm sure that there would be a similar kind of time spent this year, which hopefully, again, COVID would have given us the time that we could take it out and say, okay, let's use up part of our weekends to do that. So I am looking forward to a lot of people saying that this is really an award for work and not, an award just which is decided on other means.
Absolutely. And I think this year we have masked entry. So in nearly all categories, it's blind. So it's not obvious in terms of which company or which brand it comes from. You have an independent shortlisting process. So that's one stage that the jury goes through. And then they have a face-to-face meeting where each of the finalists will come and present their case, and they will have to, be questioned, etc. So it is a very, and I think it's important also that there should be a very rigorous process.
Absolutely. So I think both of you make a very important point, in terms of selection process, because I always remember, having been a film fan, that when Nana Patekar got the Filmfare Award for the first time, he walked up to the stage and said that till the time I hadn't got it, I always thought it was rigged. But now that I have got it, I don't know how to react to it. Yeah. So it's the same thing, but hearing what Sonia was saying and Mithali, what you were saying, that credibility and the entire selection process in terms of how there are different group of people evaluating, and people also from different, I think just, kind of adds a lot of credibility to the process and the rigorous rigor part that you just mentioned. So that's, really happy to hear. And I'm sure one of the reasons why you see so many entries coming, because I'm sure the larger community also sees, the process that the entire MRSI team has put together. And as they say, well, winning is not everything, it could be everything, but anyway, irrespective of that, it's important to come and celebrate whoever wins. And I think let the best person or the best team win. But the more important thing is to celebrate and, kind of give that one community feeling that we are all together into it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
well said.
Sorry, go ahead, Shobha.
No, I said, well said, I said.
Yeah, right. No, absolutely. And we're also constantly wanting to push the boundaries of what we do. So even though it's just our second year, this year, what we're trying to do is we're trying to challenge ourselves more from the outside, inside industry point of view. So we actually have, we're having 3 additional expert judges in different domains to say that, let's see that we're pushing ourselves even more to be sure of our impact and sure of our innovation. So we have, in the IT space, we have the current CEO of NASSCOM, the CEO of Center of Excellence, Data Science and AI of NASSCOMs, Snehansu Mishra. He's very kindly agreed to be part of our jury panel. So he will be, one of the jury members for the use of technology and analytics, best use of analytics. We're just finalizing a very senior retired bureaucrat who will also be part of our jury panel for best developmental research. Again, so we're moving to the wider field of things. And for the best data collection innovation, we're looking at having a very, very senior person from field and operations to be part of that, because it's again that they will know really what it's like, so we always do want to push this. And I think that's why we also always keep saying this is not about just the same set of people meeting every time. We want surprises in juries, we want surprises in entries, we want non-MRSI members, many of them to come and join. So I think that is what we're looking to do. There's one award that sort of gets awarded every year with the Golden Key Awards, but isn't really one of them, and that's the Lifetime Achievement Award, which I think Sonia, you and Nitesh will recall from last year. So for the first time ever, the market research industry awarded Dorab Supariwala last year for the Lifetime Achievement Award. And, we've been around for, I think, since the early 1950s. So everyone said it was long overdue. So yes, so I think that's another award which we have, of course, a separate process of nomination and a separate jury panel. But that is also something that everyone can look forward to.
I think that is a beautiful award, because I think there are many stalwarts in our industry that have set up the entire industry, and based on which we are operating the way we are. So I think it's good to recognize them, and that's a great award to have put forward. So great. I think everybody must be rearing to send in more entries now, based on what we have talked about. So let's hope that we have.
Yeah, given that the early bird discount is over, Mithali, I'm assuming any entries coming now also reflects how much money the company has made, yeah?
Well, I think, Nitesh, it's worth mentioning here that the entry fees are really, really nominal. So they're just in the, and by design, because we want to encourage, we don't want it to be something that's revenue generating. We just want to cover costs. And the early bird cost for most of our awards was 5,000 rupees an entry plus GST. It's now 6,500 per entry. So it's sort of, I don't think that's that should be a deterrent by any means. and like I said, that is by design. So we're hoping to see many more entries. We're hoping to see many more people who hadn't thought of this and hadn't, sort of aren't the typical people you'd expect at MR seminars and awards to put in their awards. We've already had some lovely surprises, and we're hoping for many more before our final deadline of November the 10th, which is Tuesday this week.
Great. So we look forward to the best team winning.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And thank you so much, all of you. Sunday afternoon. So very kind of you to give us your time.
Our pleasure to.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much.
It's been a nice
pleasure.
conversation.
Yeah. Okay. Have a nice week ahead.
Yeah, same.